Unaweza patia jirani yako high five mzuri. Mjue jina kidogo, just know his or her name, at least tuanze zote tukiwa on the same page. Thank you everyone, welcome everyone, all those watching us from online. Today we are diving into a crucial aspect about finances, and it's no secret that understanding money matters is a vital skill to every one of us, and that's why today we have 3 people who are not only masters in numbers, lakini ni watu ambao wanajua mambo ya pesa kidogo, si ndio? On my far left we have Timothy Masharia, who is an accountant by profession, Timothy Masharia. And then we have Mr. Kiogora Mburugo, Deputy CEO, Meru Central Coffee Board, together with his beautiful wife. Na before hiyo, kwa sababu ya time, I'll request Mr. Kiogora, tafadhali, a round of applause for all of them, tafadhali. Hiyo ni ya moja. Twende, a round of applause for all of them, tafadhali. Thank you so much. I'll request kindly Mr. Kiogora to open this forum, na telling us, introducing this topic, finances.
Thank you so much, our moderator. I thank you, all of us, for this session. As you have heard, my name is Kiogora Mburugo, and I've come with my dear wife, Jane Kiogora, and nimeokoka Kristo ni Bwana. I'm a father of 2 youth like you. One is a nice school teacher, Mkadha Cynthia. Another one is an aspiring lawyer who is doing a law at Nazarene University, Mugambi job. So I want first to congratulate you for your intention or aspiration to know about issues concerning finances, concerning wealth creation, concerning investment, and debt management. I think some of us, if we went through these topics, we couldn't be far much ahead, more than we are. I'll say that it's important to learn at this age so that you can learn from the mistakes and successes of other people, from the scholars, and most from the practical examples, which is the best. You know, you can learn from the books, but they don't tell it all. The practical bit is very important. But as end, let me open up by saying that the foundation of wealth creation is on the basis of Bible. Everything is biblical. Everything in this one is biblical. So Proverbs 10:22 says that the embracing of wrong brings wealth without any toil for it. So it is a blessing to have wealth, and the embracing of wrong brings wealth. So it is for us, everybody, to pray for the embracing of wrong so that you can be wealthy. You can toil so much, but without the blessing of wrong, you cannot make it. Kitabu cha Mhubiri 5:19, and it is a good thing to receive wealth from God, and then good health to enjoy it, to enjoy your work and accept your lot in life. This is indeed gift of God. So wealth is a gift from God. Also, health is a gift from God. So both go hand in hand. So it is a gift from God. So ukiona mtu ako tajiri usiseme ati ni Illuminati, sijui ameenda kwa shetani. The devil has no wealth to give. Shetani ni muongo. So wealth inatoka kwa Mungu, haitoki kwa shetani. So hata kama utapata kitu ingine leo, know that wealth comes from God. And it is a blessing, it is a good thing. Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time. You might see that some people are ahead of you, so much ahead of you. You don't know how they have got their riches, their wealth. So you decide to join some funny schemes, some schemes which does not hand up, quick rich schemes. They've even knew from the beginning that there will be some deaths of this world, some betting of this world. So forgive me if you are in betting, but that is the Bible. It says that if you are in something which you want to get rich overnight, it's not God's plan. And that world will disappear over time. I don't know if you have followed up those who get even that $1 million, 10 million from betting, from how that rich is maintained and if it grows. So, also there is a warning in the Bible about riches. 1 Timothy 6:17-18. It says that it teach those who are rich in this world not to be proud and not to trust in their money, which is so unreliable. So you can read things here. Money can make somebody proud. That is one. Riches can make somebody proud. And the Bible categorically says that don't trust in money. So if you are not trusting in money, you should trust in God. Also, it says that riches are unreliable. You cannot rely on your riches. So their trust should be in God, who richly gives us all we need for our enjoyment. So the other thing, you should enjoy the labor of your hands. Wealth should be enjoyed. Because I think even good cars, even good meals are not to be enjoyed in heaven. They will be enjoyed here, not in heaven. So see, could labor so much and not getting enjoyment. So even enjoyment is part of riches. 18 says, tell them to use their money to good. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need, always being ready to share with others. Being stingy does not mean you'll be rich. So, being generous and sharing is also richness in its own way. So, being stingy and being what we call a miser does not mean that you'll be very healthy na utakuwa na pesa mingi sana. My last point from the Bible comes from Deuteronomy 8:18, which says that, but remember the Lord your God, for He is the one who gives you ability to produce wealth. So it is God who. There's other Bible which says that He makes you your work. He trains your work, your hands, to make wealth. So even your hands can be trained. So tonight you can pray. You can tell God to train your hands to make wealth. So there are some mistakes. I would say there are some mistakes we do. There are so many mistakes which we should avoid. One, when you don't have a budget, that's a big mistake in the creation of wealth and making money. Also being reactive, not proactive. That means you are not planning anything. You are waiting. You are like Simamoto. You are waiting for anything to come up and fight. Then staying and then add job for some of us who are employed and who aspire to be employed. You should not stay in a comfort zone where that you are assistant to the MD and the MD is the owner of the job. So there is no growing. You are in a comfort zone. So when you are there in that job, you can apply for another bigger job. You can go to another job, but not hoping after the 3 months, 4 months, employers will not trust you. So, but you should not stay in a comfort zone. Then you can move from your central dairy and then go to somewhere in Vietnam or China, who are making not 500,000 liters per day, but 1 million liters per day. Then number 3, for not having an emergency fund. It is important. Hata ukiamshwa leo usiku, you have some little coins you have saved for emergency purpose, not for any other. We are not praying for any emergency to come, but it is important to have an emergency fund for yourself. Then, overpaying for necessities. When we say that, when we are praying for food, clothing, and shelter. Those are the necessities. But when we are saying about the shelter, you can decide when you are young to stay and house, a 2-bedroom house, which you are paying at 20,000. Somebody else can stay the same at 5,000. So the one who is staying house rented at 5,000 is saving 15,000. So that's what I'm saying, of paying for necessities. You can tell us this is shelter, but there's shelter and shelter. You are getting 30,000 and you are staying in a house, you are housing yourself, a house of 15,000. I can guess that you are unatajirisha landlord, not that you are saving or creating wealth for yourself. You can also, when you are saying clothing, you can buy clothes for 20,000 or 30,000 na pesa ya kukopa. You talk about loaning. Unachukua loan ya kufanya nini? Ya kununua nguo ama ya kufanya nini? It's very important. Then living above your means. This is the most dangerous thing in life. Unapata 20,000 and you want to live a life of 40,000. Where will 10,000 come from? Sometimes I know many of us aspire to do a wedding. Utapata kuna mtu amefanya wedding ya 2 million, mwingine ya 30,000, mwingine ya 50,000. Ukute ya 50,000 planned properly itakuwa mzuri kuliko ya 2 million. Why? Because of the strategy and the planning. Ya 2 million, hata mtu akiingia ataona hiyo wedding ikuwa mzuri. But you are living above your means. You are overpriced yourself. But with good plans, hata hakuna mtu atajua ilikuwa ya 50,000. Then lifestyle. What lifestyle are you living? Wewe ni mtu ule wa passion. Kagua ikitokea mpya unatupa ile mzee, unataka kumove with fashion. Then purchasing what you don't need. Ukiona kakitu tu unanunua ukiulizwa ni ya nini, ujui because your neighbors bought that thing. That's also a mistake in money. Then another mistake is thinking it's too early to save. And I'm happy that you are thinking wisely. You have thought very early. Umeajiriwa 15,000, you think, nikiajiriwa 100,000, that's what the time I'll start saving. So when you think it is too early to save, that's a mistake. Then failing to invest. Then stressing your debts. Stressing your debts. Uko na loan kama 10, zote zile ziko kwa simu mpaka kwa Shylock. One of my lecturers in economic development told me, I think that teacher was not saved. Aliniambia kama kuna shetani ameona karibu na yeye ni Shylock. Kama kuna shetani mwingine anajua. So I think not blowing out of context is that he meant that Shylock can make you extremely poor, not only poor, meaning that exorbitant high interest rates. So not setting your goals. The other thing is undervaluing yourself. You undervalue yourself. Unasema hiyo ni akina ndani. That one, investment, hiyo ni akina Daniel. Hiyo ni akina Masharia. Then, not shopping around. You need to shop around. You see what you are getting is the best. And as I conclude, pay all your debts. In Romans 13:8, we are being told that you pay all the debts, ubakisha moja tu ya upendo. Usiwe mtu ya kukataa kulipa mandeni. Lipa mandeni yako and you pay them promptly. That will be a blessing. So, you need to manage your debt. Then change your perception about debt. Debt is good, it's not bad. To take a loan is good, knowing where to take it. Sio usikie Kiogora amechukua ndeni, ati shamba yake iko kwa bank, useme Kiogora shamba yake itauzwa. You should change your attitude towards the way you view the debts. Debts are not necessarily bad, but they can be bad if managed not well. Improve your expense planning. How you manage your expenditure is very important, the way you manage your debt. Then we send living beyond your means. Then the interest rates on debts is very key when you want to take debts. Then the payment plan. Something can happen like Corona, and you are not able to service your debt well. You can go to bank and negotiate another payment plan. If you are taken a loan for 3 years, you can negotiate 6 years, because that's the way you can be able to repay, because there's something as circumstances as you did not foresee. Because in economics, we say owning all other factors constant. So if the factors are not constant, you should also know how to act on that, to be proactive. So also build emergency fund. So also seek professional advice. Like Mr. Masharia here is my tax consultant. I normally go to Masharia na mulisa, hii kitu ya housing, hii kitu ya imekuja ya Sakayo, how is it affecting me? So Masharia ananiambia do this, do that. Na sometimes unaandikiwa barua. Unaenda kwa tax consultant, unamuuliza hii ni jibu namna gani. So the tax consultant will be able, because it's not that you know everything, but the tax consultant will be able to sort you out. So investing, saving, borrowing is good for you, but everything should be managed within your reach. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for him, tafadhali. That was a great introduction. I want this session to be interactive as possible. na nataka kudivide the finance part into 3, that is debt, saving and investment. So in case you have any question about debt, saving and investment, unaweza tuma kwa group FGCK youth group, ama pia unaweza raise your hand. I'll see it wherever you will be. Some at least anaweza nisaidia na mic akizungusha around. But before that, I want this session to be interactive as possible, and at the same time, we uncover valuable insights to deal with finances. And I want to start my question with the big crocodile in the house, your debt. Watu wengi hapa tuko na debt, if not 100%, 90%. Mimi nikiwa hapo, ya help. Niko nayo hapo. Kuna wengine wako na mshwari, wengine ni gani ingine? Fuliza, gani ingine mkopa. Kuna Ase fund. Asla fund. Asla fund. So I want to ask, I'll direct this question to Tim, then itakuja hivyo to Mr. Kiogora and the wife. You just tell us how to deal with debt. Just 2 sentences, 3 sentences, then I'll make it open for all of us.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening. True, the debt issue among Kenyan youth is quite a huge thing, and there are quite a number of factors that are leading toward this. I just maybe talk about 3, then we'll discuss more as we move along. Number 1, cause of high indebtedness in the youth. Actually, there is a survey by the Kenya National Bureau of Standards. You can check that on 2021, high level of indebtedness among the Kenyan youth. And it's a very alarming thing because it is showing something. There is a certain gap that is missing somewhere. And number 1 cause of that high level of indebtedness is financial illiteracy, or specifically debt illiteracy. Quite a number of the young people, they are not much aware of they are not quite fine in as far as financial management is concerned. We get through school, we learn to go look for money, and when we get to the world to look for this money, nobody ever taught us on how to manage these finances. And if there is some training, it's very scanty in as far as maybe financial management is concerned. Things like having a budget, living within your means. And therefore you find a youth who is out there to face the world, want to live, but doesn't have a simple information on how does he manage some money, get some employment, get some income, even from donations or given by parents. But the youth is not able to know how to manage that. The very high level of illiteracy in as far as financial management is concerned, and most specifically also debt illiteracy, that the youths are not aware on how to value and to like calculate how much is the cost of this debt that I am getting myself into. You get a loan with very high interest, exorbitant interest actually, and therefore it becomes unable for you to pay, because you did not take that first step to want to analyze how much is the cost of this debt, how much is the cost, how much is the interest, how long will I pay this loan. You just borrow. And our elder, Mr. Kegora, has talked about living beyond your means. You want to be envious of everything. You want to copy the media, the social media guys. You want to live a lifestyle that's not yours. Actually, every time you borrow money to live a certain lifestyle, it means you're not qualified to live within that lifestyle. You're not qualified for that stage. But the youths are running towards living a life that is not theirs. The fake it until you get it mantra. You borrow to sustain a certain lifestyle that is not, you cannot really live by. If you earn an income of, let's say, 10,000, 15,000, how do you manage that to live within your means? But you want to live large, live and enjoy life like somebody earning 100,000 or a big man somewhere. So those are some of the issues And number three, most compounding reason why the youths are so much in debt, we call it the supply factor, whereby you find in Kenya currently, there are about 51 registered and regulated, we call them digital financial providers, digital credit providers, DCPs. These are platforms on your phone. You can download them. You can access them via online, and they can give you easy money. They advertise for competition because they want your money, they want your interest. And therefore, through that marketing, the youth is always just clicking. And they're not telling you the danger of all this borrowing. You borrow from this, you are stuck. There's another message and another advert that comes. You click, you borrow from that. And that becomes a very huge issue. There are so many people who want to give the youth especially credit, but they're not telling them what's the limit, how much can you borrow. They just want to release you so that they would milk, actually, the registrator called it not actual lending, but it is milking the Kenyan youth from their finances. What I want you to note is, every time you borrow, you pay twice. If you borrow for something, let's say you want to buy a product, and you borrow money to buy that product, you pay twice for that product. For example, and there's another scam that has scammed almost, and every youth is learning to it. You want to buy a phone, and a nice phone for that matter, and the market is ripe and ready with people giving you a phone on credit. You pay in quotes of a wrong period, let's say 500 in 52 weeks. And the cost of that product is almost half the amount you pay at the end of the 52 weeks. If you calculate 500 times 52, that's how much? For a phone less that value. But because the youth is not ready to work, to wait until you get that money, you go borrow, you pay interest on it, sometimes double that interest, because the youth lack understanding and they're not patient enough to work until they get what they need. I think those are some of the big issues that causes indebtedness in the Kenyan youth.
Thank you, Mr. Kiogora. Tafadhali.
Thank you. I think Mr. Mashari has said so much on that issue, but I'll say that if you take the loan or apply for the loan, and you don't know where you are taking the loan, what we call return on investment, or return be a short term, medium term, long term. So if you are taking the loan and you want to open a business, will this business be able to finance this loan? Even you can make a mistake which can cost you sometimes. I've heard Waithaka saying about help. Might be Waithaka took help, and the money he took, he not use it for fees. Some alitumia kununua nguo, and he is paying dearly. Some of you, their parents couldn't be able to pay the fees for them, but they took help. Even their parents do not know you took the help. But you should forgive yourself and pay that loan and pay it promptly. That's a mistake you did. Should not regret, but you should plan how to pay it. So, when you take loan, try to do another stream of income which you can use. Ile tunasema siku hizi mnaita side hustle. You can do another stream of income which you should not rely on one stream of income so that you can be able to pay. You should not take a loan to repay another loan. Ni kama kushimba shimo moja, usibe shimo ingine. So at the end of the day, you have so many holes because utakuwa unashimba hii, usibe ile. At the end of the day, you'll be confused. You'll be very confused because you have around 5 loans. And what will happen if you are in that situation? How can we assist ourselves? You can take one loan, pay the other small loans, and start managing the other loan. If the other loans were for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, you can take a loan for 3 years and manage the other high interest cost loan. You can take from the SACCO and Gundi SACCO, then pay the other loans and then be sure not to go in that lifestyle again. Because you cannot, if you're in that situation, that's the thing you should do. You cannot continue crying over spilt milk. So kama uko kwa job, unajua ukiajiriwa, hata ukiajiriwa 10,000, watajua. They will take their money. Jane will tell you, she is an HR. Wanasema, leta pesa yetu before umulipe. That's the work she does. Halafu nakuta employee anauliza, umenikata nini this month? Namwambia, did you forget you took care of? So I think management is everything. If you're in that, kama uko kwa hiyo mtego, Machari has said that every day they are knocking at our doors, they are knocking at our phones, wakikwambia pesa iko hapa. They will not tell you the truth, but wacha ifike wakati wa kulipa. Wale walikuwa na smile watakuwa watu wabaya sana. So, but when giving you the loan, watakuwa watu wazuri sana. And I'm telling you, loans can destabilize you, even you are thinking. It can destabilize you. Watu hata ukikuja kwa kanisa ulale, because that is the only place you can find peace. Because hawezi kuja kuitisha pesa kwa church. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mrs. Kiogora, naomba nikuulize tofauti na wao, so that at least we can where do we draw the line ya tuseme hapa sasa sipaswi kukopa. Kuna wale tunashughulia shamba, tunanunua kagari. Kuna wale tunashughulia kagari, tunasemanga kuchuria, unawekelea kagari kwa sako, tunapeleka kamsichana kama mimi sasa Mombasani kule tukajienjoy. How do we draw the line? Tunasema hii sipaswi kuchukulia debt juu ya hii.
Rudia tena.
Again, I'm asking, where should we draw the line? Ni wapi unaweza fika useme hii sipaswi kuchukulia loan ama a debt to do this, to finance this lifestyle, for example, maybe to buy a car, maybe if it's a good example. As in, ni nini naweza sema sipaswi kuchukua loan ili nifanye hivi? Ama in short, napaswa nichukue loan nifanye kitu kama gani na gani na gani?
Okay. Evening. Habari zenu. I'm glad you came. Na mtasaidika. Nimeulizwa the line you draw kuchukua debt ili ufanye jambo fulani. Debt are very expensive. Hivyo tumeambiwa na Macharia, the debts are very expensive. Kwa sababu ukiomba deni utalipia mara 2 ama 3. Kwa hivyo as you are getting your debt, you should think twice and thrice. Na ujipime, you weigh yourself, whether you're able, you know your income, and the priority. Many youth, they are competing with themselves. And that's why they are on debt. And they cannot come out of it. Wewe unanunua gari, ni sawa, gari ni mzuri, lakini to maintain the vehicle, unajua kununua ni rahisi sana. Lakini maintenance ya gari is very high. Unajua hivyo? Kununua gari unaweza nunua, ni sawa. Lakini to maintain the vehicle, itakuwa inakukula tu. So as you make your decision, ujue kitu hiyo unanunua kama is adding value to you ama itakuwa inakumaliza polepole, kwa sababu when you purchase a vehicle, you are going to need fuel, maintenance, na labda ukiangalia your income ama salary, labda ni kazi bure utakuwa unafanya. True or false? If you calculate what you are entering in that vehicle to maintain itself, to fuel it, to maintain its service, whatever, inakukula. And that is not necessary for now. Wakati unafanya the decision to get a debt, we swali ya kwanza jiulize if you're able, kama hiyo kitu ina add value to you, kama unatembea na madhiri na boda na miguu, kwa nini ununue gari? Why are you purchasing a vehicle? Ama unataka kuonyesha rika lako uko majuu? Why are you purchasing a vehicle? Hebu nipeane mfano wetu. We purchased a vehicle after marriage immediately. Lakini we were not able to drive that vehicle. Ilikuwa ya kufanya biashara. Ni ukweli? Na tumenunua magari mingi bila kuendesha, kwa sababu we were not in that position. We could not maintain that vehicle with our salaries. We could calculate tuone, hii kufuel na kumaintain, it was like impossible. Kwa hivyo, ebu iwe saindaso, iwe inaleta income. Kwa hivyo, as I answer your question, wakati unafanya kitu, uliza value ile itahand to you. Kama itakuletea pesa, ama itakuwa inakukula. Bila muliambiwa, naenda unachukua debt, unanunua nguo mzuri. Sasa hiyo imekusaidia aje?
Umepiga luku.
Kwa sababu ungeenda mahali pale, you are fitting, ama you are living to your standards. Kama unanunua, kama saa hii ukienda hapa town, mabei ya maguo ama kila kitu iko juu. Lakini you can get the similar thing kakoromone. Lakini kwa sababu we hutaki kusumbuka, hutaki kujua what you are getting, unajua kuna vitu vile necessary. Tunaziita nini? The basic needs. Kuna zile basic needs. Unatakiwa kukula, unatakiwa kuwa na shelter, unatakiwa kuwa na, kama ni familia unaendocate your children. Those are very basic. Lakini kuna mambo mengine unataka kujirundia, and they are not basic, they are not very necessary. Hata kufanya hii nywele, kuna vile unaangalia unaona nikienda saloni ile cost itakuwa kubwa sana. Si ni ukweli? Na kuna saloni nyingine unaweza enda, you search for salon which are for your class. Wachijana wanacheka. For your class. Kuna wengine wanaweza kupitisha pesa mpaka uko karibu kutoa nguo zile ulikuwa umevaa uache, which was not necessary. Kwa hivyo I think I have answered your question.
Good one. Thank you. Any question among us? Kabla niruke kwa savings, tumalizia kwa investment. Any question, please? Zungusha hiyo mic. Thank you. On debt. Uliza yenye uko nayo.
Okay, mimi nilikuwa nauliza mtu unafaa kusave how much ndio you buy a car? As in, ukuwe na ngapi kwa account ndo ukuwe capable ku maintain hiyo gari?
Hold it there ndio kabla tuingie kwa saving. Any question about debt tafadhali? Any question ndio tuingie? Kunayo hapa ndio tuingie kwa saving, alafu hiyo question answeriwe. I hope you have noted it or stored it somewhere.
I want to know their journey before they got their first job.
Okay.
How was their walimanage aje kubalance hiyo juu kuna hiyo time ya struggle?
Good. I think that you can answer that. Before you got your first job, hiyo period ya kukaa tu ukiwa hivi hivi, how did you manage? You can put that. Any other questions afadhali, so that you can pick all of them on debt. Alafu, any other? We can answer that. Can start maybe by, there is another one, okay?
Swali yangu ni, is it right to take a debt to start an investment? Is it right to take a debt to start an investment?
Good one. I think, any other? Any other? Hakuna. Haya. We can start with the last one, alafu tukirudi nyuma hivyo. Is it right to take a debt to start an investment, right? Good. Anyone can answer. Anyone.
Is it right to start to borrow to invest? You need to calculate how much you are paying for the interest and how much you are earning as interest, right? So if you are borrowing at 10% to invest and get a return, what is the interest? And over what duration? So that you not just move money here, the interest you earn here, you pay the debt, right? So it's more of a question of calculation. The rich, that's what they do. They borrow your money at banks at a rate of around 9-10%, and they invest this money. Last time we talked about investment, the treasury bills and the like, and they get about 18%. Now, if you're not in a position to get that cheap credit, because something you should also know, at our age, the government, through the regulation that is put in across to manage debts, especially among the Kenyans, there's something we call the credit rating. The credit bureaus are here, and they want to give credits. You get credit according to what rate you have. And there's a challenge that is coming with when you borrow too much, and that report gets to the credit referencing bureaus, and you don't pay. Anytime you don't pay, the report to the credit reference bureau, and that affects your credit score. Where you are moving, countries like the US, you just don't go get a credit. You must get a credit rating for you to know how much they are charging you. And that's coming. By the time you are getting 10 years, even now it has started, but it's getting more serious. Even banks, they'll be renting you according to the credit rating that you have. So when you borrow too much and you don't pay, you affect your credit rating. So even if you borrow and you want to go invest that money, you might be forced to get a credit at a very expensive rate than the rate you receive the return on. So I would really advise it's a matter of great calculation. Like Mr. Kegora had said, if you really want to invest, like to do a business, and it's your first time business, because another reason why, especially the young demographics are getting to debts, we call it the occurrence of risk factors. You borrow, let's say 50,000, and you want to go specifically to start a business you don't know about. You are not aware of what to do with that business. And your first 50,000 goes into drain. You're left broke, no income as expected from business, and you have an interest to pay. That's a challenge. But somebody who has a small business already knows the struggles, the areas on what to do. He knows where to get his products. He has some orders. So he gets money on credit to go and kuongezea stock, let's say. That person will have better chances of getting more returns from that loan or that credit than the one who is starting that business. So it's a matter of how much you balance in between that. So you cannot say it's really bad or good, but it depends on what you want to do that investment on. What's that investment? Some people can borrow to buy land. That's also a form of an investment. But what is the rate of appreciation of that land versus vis-a-vis the interest paid over that duration? You find if you're buying land now, let's say at a place that is selling at 1 million, 2 years, it will be 1.2, 1.3, depending. How much will you pay for that loan within those 2 years? It's a balance, and it can help.
Thank you. I want something small on what Mr. Mashari has said. When you're investing, you should have a plan, a good business plan, so that you know the return on investment. Before borrowing the money should be the last bit. How are you financing the business you want to, the investment you want, the business you want to open? Because I believe investment will come after saving. You should save and invest, or do both. You can borrow, save, invest, or 3 of them. So where are you investing this money? You can go and invest in Imbaragoi, or where the cattle rustling uko pande ya Igembe. Do you think you have return for investment? Unataka kufanya Angund ranch, ununue ng'ombe kama 50. Si unajua sitakujiwa. You do the risk analysis. So you can do an investment which is not worth uache ukilipa loan. There was a question about the time before employment.
Yes. Before getting a job, how do you
Before
survive?
getting a job.
Yeah.
So after education or after high school, or pale mtu anasema amemaliza shule. Unajua kuna anasema anamaliza shule akiwa diploma, mwingine doctorate. Pale wewe ulisikia hapa, wacha for now. That is time for self-employment, or to do something to earn something for you, not white collar job. So even before I was employed in Meru Central, even if you sell 1 crate of eggs and get 200 shillings, you are in employment. So that time should not happen. You should not have a sleeping time, or a time when you are
Ya
not
kung'ethia.
investing.
Ya kung'ethia.
Yes, that time should not happen. Hata kama ni kulima shamba ya mtu, hiyo ni kazi. You are getting 500 shillings per day and you can do something. That one is unemployment. Hata kama ni kufua nguo, you are very serious on that. I remember when we finished school, tulikuwa tunajiunga vijana kama 20 hivi. Tunalima shamba, tunapata pesa, and tunaweka in a group account. So sio ni kazi. So you should think. There are 2 ladies walimaliza university, they were doing catering and something. And they started selling chapatis to the IDPs. This time they have a very big hotel. So don't think that time will wait for you. Another good strategy, and I don't know if it was planned or not. Responsibility makes you a good investor, a good saver, because sio wakati uko kijana, ukiona ukifanya pesa ukiwa kijana, when you are married, utakuwa tajiri mkubwa sana. Because when I was young, I cannot tell you I had any saving, na sikuwa na anything. But wakati tulipatana na my wife, I got something, because hakuna mtu alikuwa ananisukuma, there were no responsibility. Hata nikitaka kulala njaa, hata nikitaka kupitia kwa Mashari nikule, nitakula. Nobody was asking me for something, but somebody said, wakati unafukuzwa na simba, lazima ukimbie mbio sana, because ukikataa kukimbia, unajua simba wewe ni chakula ya simba. Lakini ukifukuzwa na umbwa, you may decide to turn back na kupigana na umbwa. Si ni ukweli? So when you are a family man, you must burn the midnight well, kwa sababu watoto wanataka school fees. You need a place you are calling your home. You need something for future. You need to develop your legacy. So even the comfort zone makes you not to be wealthy. So two are better than one. So even kufikiria kuoa na kuolewa, it's form of creating wealth. Of course, to the right person. So I can attribute what I am to two becoming one, because I think kama sikuoa singekuwa na kitu, because mtu anasurura anaenda kwa mama yake anakula. Kwani kuna mama anauliza kijana anampea chakula? Sinio ni ukweli? Then move from your comfort zone, move from your mother's house and then go and also like the other young men. Sio ukae kwa your comfort kwa sababu your father's house iko na room yako, iko na TV mzuri, hiyo ni ya baba yako, ni ya mama yako. Move from the comfort zone. Start from 10 by 10. Sleep on the floor. Hata kama ukienda Waithaka, kondisha kanyumba yako. Sleep kwa cement. Ndio kichwa yako ifanye kazi, ujue kununua bed. Sio ile ulinunuliwa na baba yako. Uketi kuwe sofa set ile kubwa kwako ni kitanda. Hiyo ingine ni stool. Kwanza saa hii supermarket ziko na zile viti za kuwekelea hivi. Naweka kwa kona. Start from that point. Ndio utaweza kuangalia, unaona hii nyumba kweli inataka kiti. In the process of attaining pesa ya kutafuta kiti utabakisha ingine. I think that's the essence. The other thing you should not forget is your name. Your name and the relationship is wealth. Jina yako. Nikijua jina yako ni mzuri Waithaka, you can come to me na nikupatie 5,000, si lazima uende ukope, na uniambie ninaenda kununua nguo kakoromoni nitauza nikuletee yako. But kama najua wewe ulipatiwa na mashari ukakura, I'll blacklist you. So the highest investment is your name. Keep your name clean and keep good relationships. Sawa sawa, ukiomba lipa. Na nikijua wewe your lifestyle ni mbaya sitakupea, so you should guard your name among all other things you have. That is the best investment. You keep your name clean and you have the right relationships. Value. Ukiona mashari is not giving you any value, hata mundelete kwa your phone. Kwanza leo usiku uende kwa your phone list, uangalia watu wale they don't add value to you. Ukiwandelete, wengine ukimblock. Nilikuwa nakusalimia tu. There is nothing like nilikuwa nakusalimia tu. No, delete them. Uache na watu 50 ambao wana add value to your life. Sio kukaa na watu ati phone book yangu iko na watu 2000. Watu bure. Acha na watu 20. Watu valuable. Wala wanaweza kuambia twende mlima tukaombe. There is this idea, business idea. Wanakucholesha. Business idea. So, hiyo swali ya tatu ime-escape.
Thank you. Mrs. Kiogora, anything to add on that?
Asante. Nataka kuongeza hiyo ya ilikuwa hiyo ulikuwa unaanza. What were you answering?
Ya kugoja ile wakati period yenye hauna kazi.
Okay. I'm sorry watoto wengi. Our generation ile iko wengi we didn't expose them to work. We are very sorry for that. Ourselves, hiyo kipindi haikuwa na gap. It had no gap. Because you knew you can do anything to get money and not sinning. Wengi siku hizi kama wachichana wanataka tu kupewa vile walikuwa wanapewa, na ndio sababu tuko na mipango sana, mipango ya kando. They cannot know how to help themselves. You are very strong in this wakati uko youth, you can do anything. As you have been told, hata ukienda Kakoromone hapa, useme leo niko na 500, I want to start selling nyanya. Jioni utaenda na ngiri moja ama 800. I think wakati nilimaliza college, nilienda nikakuta msichana ambaye alikuwa ametolewa shule form 2. Na alikuwa na kijana ambaye alikuwa anatakiwa kwenda nursery. Akafikisha 3 years. Lakini yule alimuoa alikuwa mlevi sana. Kwa hivyo kijana alipofika the 3 years hakuweza, kwa sababu alikuwa anatarajia every evening analetewa pesa ya kukula. Anakaa tu kwa nyumba. Lakini nilikuwa mtoto kwake. Nikamwambia, wewe huwezi kaa hivi. Wewe amuka na 100 yako. Enda Kaderi utafute sukuma wiki. Uuze. Jioni hautakuwa na 100. Saa hii hebu nikwambia amenunua maplot. Huyo mama ako hapa soko Mjinga. Mimi napitia hapo nikimsalimia. Those are many years ago. I was not married. I was like you. Lakini huyo mama nilimsaidia na akili. Kwa sababu I knew everything is possible. Si kuajiriwa peke yake. Uko na njia mingi ya kutafuta pesa. Ukienda Kakoromone pale, utafute mutumba ya 100 ama 150. Upande juu huku utauza na 300. Si ni ukweli? Sio ni njia moja? Njia ni mingi sana, kazi iko. Ni vile hamtaki kuchoka. Clifford, hamtaki kuchoka kwa sababu kila wakati mnakuta chakula iko hapo, mikate iko hapo, sivyo? Nyumba ina, Lakini sisi hatukuwa tumefunzwa hivyo. Tulikuwa tumefunzwa kufikiria na kutafuta. And you spend very little. Si ukienda ukitafuta ukipata 200 unaikula yo. Tuko pamoja? Kwa hivyo hiyo nini mnaona kuko na gap. Wale wako aggressive wana survive. True or false? Those who are aggressive, they are not sleeping in their houses or the parent houses. Wanapata pesa. Kwa hivyo there is no gap. Mko na nguvu, mko na akili. So I'm encouraging you. Hata ukiwa hujapata kazi ya kuajiriwa, jiajiri. Kuna swali iliulizwa, how can you save? How much can you save to buy a vehicle? Hiyo itategemea hiyo income. Ni vehicle gani unasavia? For what purpose? Tulisema, when you are purchasing something, hebu tuseme ni vehicles. Unajua unaweza kuwa umefika kiwango, unasikia, now I can be driving when I'm traveling somewhere, my own vehicle. And you have the potential to do that. When you are saving for the vehicle, umefika hiyo kiwango. Hiyo ni swali ya kujiuliza, na ni vehicle gani unataka kununua, na ni ya kufanya kazi gani. Kama ni ya biashara ni sawa, na unaangalia kama itaweza kujimaintain kwa biashara hiyo unataka kununulia. I think.
Let me add something. On that period, after umemaliza shule, mpaka upate your first employment, there, and especially you're living in a very advantageous point, the government of Kenya kupitia a program that is being run by the president, inaitwa the Ajira kind of things. There is a lot of work and things one can do online. And vile mama nasema, it's only that the youth Either hatujui ama hatutaki kuchoka. But there's something that you can do even online. The president is running a program in the Tibet inaitwa Jitume program. Kuna mtu amesikia Jitume mahali? You get the computer. You can do anything and you can learn on things to do, and people are looking and are earning from that, such things. There's a lot of technical things ambazo zinahitajika hata Kenya, hata mahali locality, mahali tuko saa hii. There are so many things one can do. It's just that we have to move out of the mentality ya kupewa. We go out, start looking for job. Maybe thankfully umeenda through school, you are trained in a certain skill, you can start making money out of that. From a very small point, the biggest challenge, Mr. Kiogora, maybe tutamuuliza, by the time he is growing to be the deputy CEO, it did not just take a day. But the youths wanataka, nimesomea HR, ajiriwe akiwa human resource officer Safaricom. Utaanzia kuosha Safaricom, uoshe upande ngazi for years. You will not just wake up because you passed with upper division in human resource or finance. You will not get there. Like in accounts, I tell my friends, those who are joining, even if you are qualified, as much as you are qualified, anybody who will employ you in finance want to know, umefanya kazi wapi? What's your experience? And me, I had to even offer myself to work for somebody for 3 months without pay. The things Mr. Kegora talked about, tax. Nilifanya kazi miezi 3 bila kulipwa shilingi ya mtu. Kwa mtu, an auditor here in town, for 3 good months. To learn the skill, how do you even get customers? How do you address such an issue? How do you go to KRA? You see, 3 months, bila shilingi. Nakupukanga, sorry to say this, he gave me work to do. Kazi ilikuwa imemuremea for almost 3 months because ilikuwa na kazi mingi. And he charged 300,000 for that work. He lent me 20,000. Amelipwa 300,000 ile kazi nimemfanyia, akanikopesha 20,000. I felt pain and I said no, it can't be me. I know how to look for these customers. I know everything. Nilimwambia tuonane. I'll pay you in 2 months. And I moved out. Naenda anatafuta tu mtu, I do this and this and this. And as Mr. Kegora was saying, connections will help you. I have gotten so many clients out of people just refer me. Kuja, Machari uko wapi leo? Nimetoka Isiolo. There's a hotel in Isiolo wanataka kufanyia hesabu ya hii mwaka. Just that. A friend who knew, tafuta Machari will do that. Connection. And then, usikubali kuabuse. If you learn a skill, offer yourself, learn, then move. Wacha kulalia masikio. Jitume. There's so much you can do. And that will also make you sure you've gotten out of debt.
Thank you.
I want to add on something about your swali ya ngari. You know some work on demand angundi vyeko. Not that umefika hiyo level, amesema how much you can save. There's a friend of mine, hakuniambia nimtaje, but because he's a friend of mine, nitamtaja. He's called Manene. Manene sells insurance. Ako na ngari inaitwa Land Cruiser TX. Aliniambia si kusema ako kwa level ya kununua hiyo ngari. But akienda kwa mtu mkubwa kuomba insurance na hiyo Land Cruiser asimamishe hapo, ashuke kwa ngari, they will take him seriously na atoke na kitabu. Hata lazima wamsikilize. So, kuna kazi utakuwa, iwe a tool of trade, iwe ni kama hiyo kiatu yako. Hata kama unapima watu weight, lazima ubarie vizuri, naone wewe ni kijana mzuri. Sio ati uenda na nguo chafu, imekatika unasema pima weight. Hata wewe mseme pima weight. Sitapimwa, lakini ukiwa smart, nitakuangalia nione kweli, you know what you mean, and you mean well for me. Nitapimwa nikupatie 20 bob. So sometimes it's strategizing yourself and vile unajiweka. Unajua there are some service departments kama hiyo ya kuuza insurance, lazima nikiingia kwa ofisi nikalie kiti mzuri na nione hata kama ofisi nione iko very clean na umeiweka vizuri. So some levels, hiyo ni ya kazi. Jane was talking about gari ya luxury. Hiyo ingine utakuwa unaiweka na mafuta na hiyo kazi ya insurance, kwa sababu is a tool of trade. Na hata kama huwa rafiki yangu nasemea kuanza na hiyo, alianza na something small, lakini vile anaendelea kutafuta big clients kama MPs, anaona hataenda kwa kutafuta a member of parliament na kagari kandogo, ataenda na hiyo TX, akisimamisha hapo wanaona wako level moja. So sitasema ni wakati gani ina depend ni gari gani, lakini si kuenda kununua Subaru because umeona Clifford ako na Subaru na vile inanguruma inatetemesha warembo wote tauni hii, hata wewe unataka kuwatetemesha. Si utumie mdomo wako bwana, si utumie mdomo wako na Mungu alikupea, ujieleze vizuri. I remember this wife of mine, wakati nilimwambia nampenda, aliniambia nimpe plan, vision yangu, nikaona ananichukia sana. Ananiambia nimpe plan, vision namna gani ya maisha, na mimi kitu ile najua nimependa msichana, hiyo ingine sijui, na akanipea 2 weeks nifikirie nataka kumpeleka pande gani, kama ni juu ama ni chini. Na that's will be a story of another day. Sitakwambia vile nilifanya na vile nilifaulu, lakini hiyo swali linikula kichwa for 2 weeks. But saa hii nafikiria, naona it's very necessary kuniuliza what plans do you have ya hii maisha. Unataka niandamane na wewe tuende kona gani ya hii nchi? Lakini mimi sikuwa na hiyo answer. That's why I told you some things can open your mind. Mtu atumii brain yote sio activated. Saa ingine inakuwa activated kwa sababu ya shinda sile utapata. Hata ule anasema ana mbio, simba akikuja saa hii, ule unafikirianga wakana mbio ndiye ataachwa nyuma, lakini ule unafikiria ana mbio ndiye atakuwa mbele sana, kwa sababu anaogopa kifo. So the motivator ombi hataki kukuliwa na simba.
Thank you. Nataka we end in the next 20 minutes, but before that, any question tafadhali? Nikigoja watu wakiinua mkono niko na yangu. How do you strike a balance between kuenjoy life na kusave? Unajua siku hizi tunasema maisha no maya, YOLO, you only live once. Sasa hii pesa yangu na nataka kukula kanyama kapok mahali, how do I strike a balance? Nijue napaswa kusave pesa ngapi na niende ni enjoy, lazima mayouthi tupige kasherehe kidogo.
Before I answer that, let me quickly answer on a question that you're not asking. Could be you're here, you're struggling with the debts. What do you do to get out of those debts? 1, strategize how you want to repay your debts. Number 2, that is take a stock of your debts. These are all the debts I have. Number 2, manage your income. Vile tu moyo wako unasikia, you want to borrow on everything, you never get out of debts. So you start closing some of those debts by paying them. All right? So budget yourself, take stock count of your debts. And as I said, the big tragedy we're also doing, we are saying we will not pay those debts. You want to move because uliwakopa na hii line ya Safaricom, you buy another one, unatupa ile. The credit, this provider, they don't know with your number, phone number. They know you with your ID number. So the best thing, I was looking for a verse in Psalms that says, you must pay your debts. So analyze them, pay them, and close those accounts as such. Don't leave your debts unpaid. They will haunt you tomorrow when you have money. To strike the balance between kujienjoy na kusave, the big question is gratification. What do you want when? You may choose to gratify yourself today with all those fun, kujienjoy, maisha no maya, and do everything you want with the little that you get. Preferably borrow. But at the end of the day, it is you who is wasting your tomorrow because of something that you should have waited for by not doing it today. Hiyo raha unataka leo, utajipea kesho when you have money. By the way, what's so sweet? To go to Mombasa when you have money, you can live in a good hotel. You even fly to Mombasa. Ama ukope, uingie basi, utembea 12 hours, uende. You better wait. You fly there, you go enjoy yourself, right? Those quick self-gratification things ndizo zinafanya anza hata kukopa. So I would say, in as much as you'd also want to, at some point, to Easter, enda pale Kakoromone, chukua nyanya 3, pandia hapo, chukua ya maimbili, enda upike vizuri, ukule, uenjoy. That's also point of enjoying. But the youth, what they are calling enjoyment, it's luxurious things. So you need to measure what is that thing you are calling enjoying yourself with. Mnamaliza shule, mnafanya party. For no reason, mnataka tu kujienjoy. Na katika hiyo kujienjoy, mnafanya mambo zingine. You even add more problems to the ones that you have already. You save for a month to go eat that money all at once. But that's not the sense. Just know, what is this enjoyment? If there are things you can wait for until you earn them, then you can do that. Then start saving your money slowly. We say it's never too early to start to save. If you're projecting to have your life grow within these 10 years, this is why you're seeing yourself. You must start saving towards that. If you really want to enjoy yourself, start saving towards that. At the right time, you'll enjoy that life as much as you'd want. So the cutthroat is just wait. Be patient. Wachani mbio. Just relax, enjoy. Kidogo ile unapata jimanage. Kuenjoy maisha itakuja bado.
Niko na swali ya ukijibu hiyo, unaona unataka kujibu hiyo. You've said stinginess inaleta poverty na generosity inaleta wealth. Alafu tena unasema to save. Is saving not being stingy? Mr. Kiogora, you can answer that tukiongeza pia hiyo ingine ya striking a balance.
Thank you so much, and Mashadi has answered very well. To be stingy is not allowing yourself to save. One, I'll start where Macharia has said about enjoyment. What is the definition of enjoyment and by who? Hiyo definition iliwekwa na nani? What do I mean? Hata tukikutana kwa nyumba ya Waithaka, tukule mayai, tupike something, tufurahie. Si enjoyment ni kufurahisha roho yako. Yeah? When even you talk together. I remember one bishop saying, aliweza kuafford kupeleka mpenzi wake Kieni ya Ntere, wakaketi hapo wakajienjoy. Cool bliss, wakikunywa kasonda. I remember wakati nilimpeleka out, nilitumia 30 shillings. That month niliumia sana. 30 bob. So,
Hiyo miaka.
yes.
Kwa sababu ya kamurembo.
30 bob. Hiyo mwezi niliona budget imeaffectiwa. But before the month was over, because alikuwa na pesa kuliko mimi, alinipea 100 shillings. Alinipea 100 shillings. Alikuwa na pesa kuliko mimi. Alinipea 100 shillings, nikaona nikakaa vizuri. So what am I saying is definition ya enjoyment yako ndio kumaliza ama ikusaidie. I said about your friends. Unakaa na watu wa aina gani? What types of friends? Na mnaenda, why are you enjoying yourself? Unajua hakuna kitu kiulizwa swali unapaswa kujibu. Hiyo kelele yote ni ya nini? Hata Biblia ukienda unasikia hiyo makelele ni ya nini? Why are you enjoying yourself? Kwani umeshinda nini? Daniel, kwani unafanya hiyo party? Why? For what reason? Kwa anything you do in this life, ujiulize unafanya ni kwa nini. Labda umemaliza mwezi mmoja, you have learned so much, unasema at least wacha ninunue kakuota, ni mimi nilikuwa nafanya kazi. Si ni ukweli? At least unajirudishia kwa sababu ndio umefanya kazi. At least. What am I saying about being generous and extravagant and kutumiwa? Unajua hata kuna kutumiwa vibaya. These days, ukiangalia WhatsApp, kila mtu, if you are not very careful, pesa yako yote itaenda kwa kuna some function somewhere, kuna housewarming, sijui kuna baby shower, sijui kuna baby what, sijui kuna I'm saying things that matter. Si kusema ati being generous ni kununulia lunch. No. Yaani ushinde umesunguka tauni mzima ukuja kwangu ni kununulia lunch. No. I'm saying something ile itasaidia maisha. Helping somebody who is ni mgonjwa. Helping somebody ambaye anataka school fees ndio achukue certificate yake ya kulipa ndio aende achukue kazi. That is, hiyo ndio kusaidia. Na si kusema ati ni wewe uko na answer ya kila mtu. Useme you are getting 30,000, 10,000, unaona tu imeenda hivyo. Because if you are not very careful these days, si michango ni mingi sana. Mpaka unapata masharia, ukitaka kumweka kwa grupu anakuambia invite me. Invite me. Singine hasiko na invite, ukitaka kuwekwa unawekwa. So, and if you find yourself in that corner, don't be intimidated. Na wale wanatoa 30,000. Kama unaweza toa, unaona 200 shillings ndio itakuaffect. Si umpe 200. Kwani alikuwa nayo ndio aombe. So that is being generous. Hata kumpea 50 bob is being generous. Na ukipewa 50 bob, unashukuru Mungu. Yeah. Si kusema ati lazima utoe 10,000 because others are giving 10,000. Even on 7th, tuko na fundraiser. Kama kitu ile umeomba Mungu kabisa na umejinyima na ni 500 ndio uko nayo, sio ndio utapatia Mungu? Because ndiye amekubariki nayo. And also kuna wengine wanasema wana kitu but sio watu wazuri. How can you eat lunch 365 and a quarter days? Alafu kuja on Sunday useme una kitu. You can forfeit lunch, si ni ukweli? Daniel, kama unakuanga lunch ya 200 shillings, you can forfeit lunch for 7 days. Hiyo ni pesa ngapi? Si umepata pesa ya kutoa? Sio ndio inaitwa sacrifice? Some things zinaitwa sacrifice. Si kusema umeshika pesa ya saving, you have done a sacrifice. Ama umeinvest somewhere, umepata 20,000, unasema at least 2,000 I can sacrifice for somebody. And niwakumbushe, not because I'm a parent. Please, kuna blessings natoka kwa wazazi. Not because you are saving, not because you are investing, not because you are highly indebted. Usisahau wazazi wako na baraka yako. Usisahau Mungu. That's why we started reading about foundation of wealth creation ni Mungu.
Thank you. Before ni allow Mrs. Koyogora, any question tafadhali? Yes.
Bwana asifiwe. My name is Evans Kemathi Kechonge. So I have a question and an input that probably would help this team on this side. Kwa sababu wengine I'm senior than them, lakini sio senior sana. So the question is, currently, every time we are at home, the first thing my father asks us, are you saving to buy shares? So my father is not a financial expert. He was also told, and he is doing well. So now that we have experts, kindly help us understand what is this thing of shares and which is the best industry to invest in shares. That is the question. The input first, you said you worked for 3 months without a pay. I want to say that I worked for 1.5 years without a coin. Until my classmates used to ask me, are you mad? But right now, I'm a technician of class C2. Wale wanafanya mambo ya stima wanaelewa what I mean by that class. So, usikue na haraka sana. Na work na Daniel pale Meru Dairy. Kuna mtu atakuentrust uharibu maziwa ya Meru yote because you are an engineer. Mpaka uanze huko chini, ukaangwe, ufike hapo. So the input is 2020 wakati COVID ilikuja, ndio nilikuwa namalizia college. So tukaenda nyumbani sisi wote and I was like, life has ended. So tukaanza kakazi kandogo hapo, nikaanza kufuga sungura. Si mnajua sungura zinatajanishwa na wavijana wajatairi. Dorwa kawi mweji. So sahi I'm improving my grains. Na nilianza na sungura inatoa afa kenji. Sahi nilikuwa njuzi tukiwa na mazishi ya nyanya yangu. Sungura nilichinja ilikuwa na 2 kgs. I'm improving mpaka ifike around 4.6. So usingoje ati upate 100,000 so that you can invest. Anza hapa chini na 50 bob. Secondary, after college, hakuna mtu atakupea kazi direct. Na ukipata kazi, labda ya kuzungusha hizi vitu zimewekwa kwa basin, hizi chips zimewekwa value addition. Ama upike zako uzungushe, tutakula. Ama uchome mahindi, pia hiyo tutakusupport. Lakini hakuna mtu atakuentrust as a beginner. So what you do after college, hiyo period, kuna hiyo swali ilikuwa imeulizwa between employment and after school. I think it is good. Kuna practical examples on this side. My father called me akaniuliza, sasa umepata, unajua ukimaliza shule, useme that umemaliza shule, wazazi wanasikianga kama umesema nimeajiriwa. So kama walikuwa wanakupea 2,000, wanakatakata ndio uanze kujipanga. So my father told me, wewe kuja nyumbani ukalime na wengine. Nikaona ile story ya prodigal son imeanza kuwork kwangu. So saa ile sina vibarua za stima, mimi nimetrain kwa electrical and electronics. Saa ile sina vibarua ya stima, you could always find me at home. Tuko kwa mashamba ama nafuga sungura. So I think that can help you. Usianze kufikiria kuinvest 50,000. Utoe wapi? Hata mimi sina mshahara, hii mwezi budget imeisha na haijakuja. So usikae hapo ukichora giza. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Sija get the question, but I guess mume get the question. So ndio tumalize because it's already 8. Any other question? Any other question? Ndio tumalize. You can answer that question. Sija get vizuri, but you can answer if you've gotten it. Alafu you sum it up. You conclude. Everyone kitu kidogo tu in conclusion. You can start with you, then your wife, then Macharia, or the order you'll want to use. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That advice was powerful. It can work for you, or it may not work for you, but it's a very good advice that tulianza na kusema. I think Jane was saying, when Jane was saying about Kakoromone and what have you, that's the same thing alikuwa anasema, that anything, hata hiyo sungura unasikia ni nyama. I went to Kitengera nikakuta wengine kile wanapata nayo pesa sana ni makojo ya sungura. So they harness the urine of sungura, they package na wanasema it's a good fertilizer. Najua scientist yako hapo, you can Google and see if it is true. Lakini nilikuta na package vizuri na wakulima wanachukua. Yeah? I went to Mbaringo, unakuta miti ingine inatoa very good foliar. So pesa ni mingi huku. When the governor, Honorable Kiraito Moronge, was saying about the black soldier fly, watu walikuwa wanasema hatuwezi fuga maggots. Hatuwezi fuga maggots. Lakini if you think outside the box, pesa iko. About the investment on the shares, the company, lazima ujue you usome vizuri about these companies. You remember the Safaricom, vile akina Kimunya walitufanya sote, tukaenda tukanunua shares za Safaricom, hata sisi tuko nazo. But little did we know that the Kimunyas of this world walikuwa na mpango yao. So you should study very well when investing in these shares. Like this time, Mashari will tell you run the trends. Sile siko sahi. Unajua the interest rates sa bank siko very high. So when you do fixed deposit, kama uko na pesa yako utumii, sio kuweka kwa saving, do a fixed deposit. Utapata something like 15%, 13%, because wanapatiana at 28% at 24. Au utakuwa better than ule amekopa. So that one will do working for you. Then hiyo pesa unataka kuinvest, unaitaka after how long? Unajua ukiinvest kwa Kenya Airways, return on investment iko namna gani? Ama unainvest kwa ushumi, supermarket ikorapse kesho. Na hiyo pesa unaihitaji, because you might invest kwa ile unaweza ita ikatae kukuitika. Hiyo shares ukiuza sitapata mnunuzi. Ni kama kununua ngari. Ukinunua Prado saa hii ukipanga kuiuza, itapata mnunuzi. But kuna ngari utanunua uandike on sale iende kesho. So, which companies? There are some quoted companies. Utaangalia trend vizuri, usome vizuri, ndio uinvest in those shares. Na kuna pesa ile uko nayo, how do you invest in them? And as I conclude, you are talking about unafanya kazi vile Mashari anafanya. Please make good contacts. Sio kuwa na marafiki wa rika yako peke yako. Clifford anaweza ulizwa, rafiki yako ni nani? Ama ndani ya aulizwa, aseme rifari wangu ni Kiogora. Ama a certain employer, I can refer somebody to an employer. Niseme, ninaweza simamia that person. So employer will trust you because ya maneno ile nimesema juu yako. So I send invest in relationships. Na si kusema rika yako peke yako. Uwe rafiki hata wale wasee kuliko wewe. Wale wanaweza ulizwa, huyu, can I trust this person? The other thing hatujaongea juu yake is guaranteeing loan. Guaranteeing loan is like taking loan. Ati nisaini hapa nataka uchukua loan. Ni kusema hata wewe unachukua loan. Kuwa guarantor wa loan is like taking loan. Who are you guaranteeing? Ama unaenda ukisainia everybody loan achukue, is just like taking loan.
Thank you, Mrs. Kiogora, to sum it up na maybe kuongeza something.
I think about shares is ni kama it has been dealt with. I'm summing what Macharia was saying. We normally train different professionals, na hivyo amemwambia after now the college, there are only few institutions ama people wale watakutrust kuwafanyia kazi without any experience. So when you go and give yourself to be exposed to that line of you, it's like an advantage to you. But many youth see it as if they are doing nothing. Hata kukupea nafasi, ukuje you practice what you've been doing in your school. That's a favor. Kwa sababu you are going now to be sharpened. Kwa hivyo, mutajipeana. Kama hujapata nafasi ya kupata kazi immediately from college, you sharpen yourself in your line. Kama wewe ni wa business, ukuje tukusaidie. Tuko na mchichana in my organization. She came to be trained from last year. Na tuko na yeye mpaka wa sasa. Lakini huyo msichana, I'm sure, akipata job saa hii, atashinda wale wamekuwa katika kazi. Kwa sababu amekuwa exposed. Kuna wengine wa IT, kuna wengi, they are being trained. Nao kufanya kazi. Unajua, wakati umetoka shule, ni makaratasi tu unabeba. Practical thing is very key. It's very key in everything. Hata kufunza, si ni ukweli? Saa hii uko hapa. Lakini si lebo yako hii. Lakini you want to be exposed. That is very key and very important.
Thank you. Mr. Macharia, before you sum it up, any burning questions afadhali? Nisifungie mutu. Any burning question you have? Good. Mr. Macharia.
All right. The sale of shares is a form of investment where the mantra is you buy low, you sell high. You may not get all those in just that one statement. It's again something that you need to do. Thankfully, in Kenya now you have companies that are being regulated by the government that can do that work for you, right? So you have your money, you just go subscribe with them, they know when to trade, they know when to buy. Because the fear, like Mr. Kagora is saying, shares is mostly controlled by who owns what. If you have a shares of Safaricom, let's say, of 10,000, one is 5 shillings now, so you have around 200 shares. One former billionaire in Kenya called Chris Kirubi would buy shares worth 100 million. You go to the market today, you want to sell your shares. You, utanunua gani? You'd buy the ones, kama ni mtu ananunua, atanunua zile ziko na yule mtu mingi. Because if Chris Kirubi is selling shares now, whoever is buying will buy like his as a Kirubi. You see? And that's the whole essence of shares. That's why sometimes unakuta iko na shida hivyo. There's something they call inside house trading. They know today a certain company will release its report, and that report will attract a lot of customers. And those customers watanunua. So they place their orders in millions. So when ukisema ununue, yako inakuwa knocked out because they already buy. That's how they do. But thankfully, you can still manage to buy shares. There is regulations that are already in place, and there are companies that can help you such that you can make small monies. But now, this is the essence. If you have 200 shares and you bought at 10 shillings, you wait until all the market dynamics happen and it reaches 12, 15 shillings. For you to sell to get that money, it may take some time. But for somebody who has 1 million shares, even if they trade with 2 shillings, and they sell, they make 202 million. Just the other day, the Kenyan shilling was selling at around 167. Within some few hours, it was 139. And there were reports all over, people lost millions of money. So if you're in that business, again, you'd lose. So it's a thing that you need to learn. What I may tell you is, there is so much information in the media, online, in the websites, but as a youth, what are you doing? Are you getting that information? You're in TikTok 24/7. Yaani wewe unakopa, ununue bundles uingie TikTok. Uone yule jamaa anaitwa aje alikufa juzi?
Brian Chura.
Brian Chiri. I even don't know what that means and what he does. What does he help you with? Yet there is information in the same phone that you have that can help you. Kazi yako ni kusoma tuko news na Nairobian. To help you with what? Ati Ongao Sonko alifanya. This information is just sieved to carry out your mind. I don't read any other newspaper. I read Business Daily every single day. It's my phone. I have subscribed. I pay to read Business Daily personally every single day. Kesho ikiprintiwa mimi niko nayo kwa simu. It gives me information on what's the current rate in business, right? Any transaction happening, it will give you me information. Rather than kusoma au ngasijui huyu alifanya nini, alienda wapi. Those things are not helping you. They are helping the poster of that information because ana earn. Wewe ukikiri kusome ama uview, umekondoa macho 24/7, somebody is earning millions because they are even making those contents. But what are you gaining? You are even borrowing to watch that person. Seek information. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of information. Seek information on shares. What are the best options to invest? Mr. Kegora have said about bank, saving, fixed deposit. If you want to buy something and you're in a fix, KCB group have a product wanaita gold saving. You want to save for 6 months to do this, and they give you a 6% interest. I know for sure most of you wako na KCB M-Pesa kwa simu yao, but you don't know that can give you 6% interest on saving. On every 1,000 shilling you save, you get 6%. But you can go borrow on Fuliza at 9%. Seek information. That's what will liberate you. Personally, that's what has liberated me. There's so much information. You're saying unalima sungura. Enda kwa website sahi, utafuta watu wanaitwa Rabbit Republic. You do contract farming with them. They will even give you funds. And they give you food. They'll show you how to construct houses. You do a contractual farming. They'll come buy your sungura. I'm happy of a certain lady, a very young lady. Aliniambia kona interest ya kulima pigs kwao nyumbani, and the father would support, and I gave her the information. Do contractual farming with hii nini ya samosa inaitwa aje? Sausage. Mnapenda sausage sana ladies. What's the name? Farm Choice. Do contract farming. They came, helped her settle the pig stay, wakampatia mpaka mbegu, wakamfunza, and now she sell very easily na ako town. Hiyo ni kazi ya baba yake akiwa nyumbani. So yeye anamsupport, anaendea pesa. Just that, you make money. I have a friend in Tharaka who has 2 beehives. Go get something. I told you, go, kuna watu wanaitwa Savannah Honey. People are ready to buy your products. Mr. Kegora have talked about the rabbit urine. Very expensive. The other day, sorry, we were in church, Wajakoya came and told us, snake, hiyo poison ya venom, it's 6,000. 6,000. Tulime nyoka, tupate 6,000. Kamoja hivi. Tharaka hapa ukienda, bee sting, hiyo mkuki moja ya sting. They're harvesting that and they're selling. But we don't have that information. Tunataka kukaa town, tukule mandazi na chips. Let's learn. Information is there. It's us to give ourselves into that which we need. And thank you so much. May you be free from debts. May you grow in everything that you're doing. And every time you have a question in person or such a group, just come and seek that information and be assisted. Thank you.
Thank you. My parting shot is I want to congratulate you for coming this evening, for finding time to run, is what Mr. Machari is saying. You could have stayed in your comfort zone and enjoy yourself. You are now at the right track. What I may say this evening, I'll say that if your absence is not felt, your presence is irrelevant. So capitalize on expert power. Even on Sunday, if you will not notice that somebody is not, hakuna mtu atakupigia simu, hakuuliza kwa nini haukuwa service. You have something, unapaswa kulia sana because your absence, nobody is feeling your absence. Nikusema unakuja kwa hii kanisa kuwarm the bench, nobody is feeling. Lakini if you are feeling, unaimba kwa Shakaina, tutaona somebody hakuwa. So if your absence is not felt, even your absence, your presence is irrelevant. Ukienda kwa hiyo kazi, capitalize on expert power. Ukiwekelea mikono yako hivyo, they miss you. Wanajua hiyo kazi, kama sio Jane, hakuna mwingine. So, unajiweka kwa kazi because of your expertise. Don't be ordinary. Kama utakuwa ordinary, you will not make it. Lazima uwe mbele ya wengine. So, thank you very much. God bless you, and you are on the right track. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mumeenjoy? Mumeenjoy? Aya, wapigieni makofi tafadhali. Thank you. I'll encourage every one of you, at least you pick something from what wamesema leo and apply it on your day-to-day life. Nimependa online, our bishop has been typing notes. So kwa hivyo kama uko unaandika notes, unaweza ingia hapo Facebook. Ameandika mingi, ziko kama 60 kila time, comment kama chat. So ladies and gentlemen, wenye wanatuona live na wakukuwa wame join wakati tulijoin, we had Timothy Masharia, an accountant by profession, a master of balance sheets. Makofi kwake tafadhali. Thank you so much. We also have Mr. and Mrs. Kiogora, Deputy CEO Meru Central Coffee Board, na bibi yake hapa, master pia yeye wa This the World of Numbers. Makofi yake tafadhali. Thank you so much. Na si hata mimi nimekuwa host mzuri. Si makofi yangu. Thank you so much. I'll request Pastor Dan tafadhali, it will be unfair for me to end this session without Pastor Dan saying a vote of thanks, na pia utuombe. Hii ni kikosi yako. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Tumpigie makofi. I'm grateful. I thought today is an holiday and most of you are away. I thought it would be few, but I am grateful to God that you made it to come. And I thank God because most requested that we do it online, those who are not around, so that also they can follow us. And I am happy. I've been checking, and I can see most of them, they are active, and they are really appreciating what we have been saying. First of all, we thank God for giving us an opportunity to learn. Praise be to God. The Bible says, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. And we thank God that he has given us a chance to be imparted with the knowledge. And this is a very different church, where we are not only imparted about the spiritual things, we are also imparted on how to live here on earth. Can we appreciate our bishop in absentia? Yes, we are really grateful for such opportunity. I also wanted to appreciate our guests. Thank you for coming. It's not easy to host our daddy and our mom at the same time. I want to tell you the truth is not easy. Can we appreciate them? Thank you for having time for us. You have really impacted us, and from today you will see a difference. We are going to be investors, and I believe in a few years to come, we'll be the billionaires in this town. Do you believe that? Bwana asifiwe. We are going to make it financially in Jesus' name. Thank you, Macharia, for making it to come. We informed you somehow late, but his response was very positive. Can we appreciate Macharia also? One thing that I've learned is that I need a financial consultant. Yes, you need someone you can consult from, someone who can advise you, someone who can help you grow financially. As we have spiritual fathers, you also need, I don't know whether you'll call them financial fathers. who can really advise you on these matters of finances so that we cannot waste what we have. And now because of that, kindly we can request our father who is in, whether he is my mentor. He is my mentor. Can you appreciate my mentor? Mr. Geogora has been my mentor, and for the time that he has mentored me, I've become better and better and better every day. I want to request him, because he is the elder and our father, to pray for us, that whatever you have earned, haitaingilia hapa, itokee huku. Unajua kuna watu walikuja hapo ukiwa na ndani ya fuliza, ukiwa unasema yote ililipa msalabani. So unarudi ukiwa unajua you need to strategize and pay the debts. Amen. And do whatever you need to do so that you can live within your means. So we are requesting that you pray for us, and we shall be concluding. Tukitoka hapa tuende nyumbani, find someone kama unaenda mbali mwenye anaenda hiyo direction yako, si ndio? Yes, appreciate me also.
Tuinuke tuombe. Tushukuru. Mtakatifu Baba wa mbingu, katika jina la Yesu, tunakupea sifa kwa sababu ya usiku wa leo Bwana. Asante Bwana kwa sababu umeonelea vyema tusome mambo ya investing, mambo ya wealth creation, mambo ya debt management Bwana. Tunakushukuru kwa sababu hata tumesoma vile Biblia, neno lako linasema kuhusu hiyo mambo yote Bwana. Nakushukuru kwa sababu ya hawa vijana Bwana. Ni kwa sababu vijana wako na nguvu Bwana, wako na uweza Bwana. Tunakushukuru kwa sababu ya kuwaleta katika nyumba yako Bwana na kuwainua Mungu. Tunakushukuru kwa sababu ya hekima hii yote Mungu mtakatifu. Usiku wa leo tunaomba Bwana, hakuna yeyote atapotea Mungu. Wote wao investors Mungu. Tumesema Bwana, sote tutakuwa millionaires wako Mungu mtakatifu. Ni kwa sababu unabii ulitolewa katika madhabahu Bwana, tutakuwa millionaires Mungu mtakatifu. Hata vijana wetu wataenda kuliko vile tulienda Mungu. They are going places Mungu mtakatifu. Watahold positions in high offices Bwana. Ni kwa sababu ya ufalme wako Mungu. Ofisi zote Mungu zisa watu wako, mfalme wa amani. Zile zote siko katika dunia hii Mungu, katika Kenya na ulimwengu wote Mungu mtakatifu Bwana. Tunaomba ukapanue mawazo yao Bwana, waone talents zile umewaekea Bwana, positions zile zimewekwa kwa sababu yao Mungu mtakatifu. Hidden treasures Mungu ni sawa Mungu mtakatifu. Tunawainua mbele zako Bwana, wakaweze kuwa conquerors Bwana, wakaweze kuwa investors, wakaweze kuwa wealth creators Mungu, wakaweze kuwa employers Mungu mwaminifu. Tunaomba ukafungue mawazo yao Bwana, kawape good health Mungu, wakaweze kufanya good decisions katika maisha yao Bwana. Wakati wa ujanani Mungu, wakaweze kuwa good savers, good investors. Na wakati watakuwa wazee, wataweza kuregret, wataangalia nyuma waseme wawe ni Ebeneza, kwa sababu utakuwa umewawezesha. Na kushukuru kwa sababu ya kiongozi wao mchungaji Daniel Bwana. Uongozi unatoka kwako Bwana, na tunajua sio kazi rahisi, lakini utamwezesha Mungu. Tunapopungukana Bwana, tunaomba baraka zako zienende pamoja nasi. Nuendelee kutuinua siku baada nyingine, utushika mkono Bwana na kutupeleka viango vingine Mungu mtakatifu. Tunakuinua, tunakutukuza. Katika jina la Yesu tunaomba na kushukuru. Amen.
And now may the grace Amen. God bless you so much. Kindly go and watch again and again and drop your comment there. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.